I have a 2025 Ram 1500 and a 2024 right here. They're both Bighorns and they both have the sport package. I borrowed these trucks from Larry H. Miller, Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram here in Sandy, Utah. Be sure to check out their inventory. Both of these trucks are available for sale. Let's go ahead and check out the window stickers so you guys can see some of the pricing. Starting off with the 2024, base price is going to be $51,185. You guys can see some of the standard equipment here. Be sure to pause it. This one did come standard with the 5-inch display for the interior, by the way, too. Tilt and telescoping steering wheel, 18-inch wheels, power mirrors, automatic headlights, halogen headlights. And here's some of the options on this one. So that diamond black paint was $245, sport appearance was $1405. And look at some of the features that came in there. Gave you an 8-way power seat. The Bighorn Level 1 equipment group was added as well, and this one did not have heated front seats and heated steering wheel standard. Power folding mirrors was an option too, and the rear power sliding window. Now, as far as your Apple CarPlay goes, that was actually an option too under that Bighorn. And the 5.7 was $3,000, and a few other things like the parking sensors were an option as well. Destination is $1995 with a total price of $60,905. And here is the fuel economy numbers on the side. For the 2025, base price is going to be $51,535. Down below are all the standard equipment features. It's a short listing. And then here are all the options. Sport appearance is the exact same price. And check out the Bighorn Level 1 equipment group, $1695. And the engine, which is an option on this truck too, is cheaper than that HEMI. 20-inch wheels were added to this one. The other truck had a few like doodads on it. Destination is the same, and then the price is $60,920. And lastly, here are the fuel economy numbers. I did do a fuel economy run with these trucks. I will post that video after this one, so be sure to subscribe to the channel and make sure your bell notifications are on. Now let's start off on the front ends. As you guys saw, the price difference on these trucks is $350, right? You guys can see on the Bighorn for 2024, it has halogen headlights. That came standard with halogen fog lights. These parking sensors up front, they are an option, and the ones out back are an option too. Now this having the sport package, it does have the monochromatic look, so painted bumpers, painted grille surround right here. And when you look over at the 2025, LED headlights now come standard, high and low beam. Now it still uses an incandescent turn signal, but you have the LED fog lights down below, and front parking sensors do come standard. Also, adaptive cruise control is standard too, and that was not available for this truck. Now it might be if you optioned it. I believe you had to option a few things like lane keep assist, things like that. But for the most part, on the 2025, you have a lot better features. I will say, with the parking sensors and the headlights coming standard, that offsets the $350, guys. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. And as you guys saw, the engine option is a little bit cheaper, but I do like the new design here. The overall design of the grille is about the same, like for like the center part, like this. But the nostrils are slightly different. They do give you a painted surround with that right here. And they definitely cleaned up the lower part. So like this trim piece here, it just looks a little bit more smoother compared to the 2024s and earlier trucks there. Something else, you guys notice there is no fender flares on the 2024s. And for 2025, they now have these standard. Love that they've done that. Definitely a nice attention to detail. The hoods are going to be the exact same, so that doesn't really change except for the badging on the side. You have that optional engine here, and then here's the straight 6 turbo, which is the inline 6 turbocharged, twin turbocharged. And as far as the mirrors go, they did kind of go backwards here because you see this? They give you the painted mirror caps. If I were getting a 2025, I probably would order these because I like the painted look, because it gives it a nicer design overall compared to the plastic trimming right there. I don't know why they did that. They always do weird stuff, but painted door handles on both sides. You cannot get smart key system on either truck. 23-gallon fuel tank versus a 26-gallon fuel tank. You can get a 33-gallon fuel tank on both trucks, by the way, if you get that HEMI and the inline 6. I'm not sure if you can get it with the Pentastar engine though. Out back, you guys can see you have the fender lining, not all the way complete like this truck. The 2020 has a complete fender lining there. As far as the wheels and tires go, there's really no difference there. You can get 20s on both trucks. This is an 18 wrapped in a Goodyear Wrangler tire, and then these are the 20s. As you guys saw, the one sticker was an option, but you can still get the same design wheels here, which would come standard basically. But I definitely like the fender flares for sure. Now this truck does have blind spot monitoring. It is available for the 2024s. They both have the convex heated outside mirrors too. And something else I want to show you guys. Oh yeah, on the side, you guys notice down below, they did clean up this for the 2024s. It looks so much smoother and it has a cleaner look in my opinion. Out back, the taillights have a new design compared to the old ones. They definitely look a lot better. They're both incandescent taillights, so there's no LEDs in there. They both have LED license plate lights down below. And you guys can see that the design of the bumper is slightly redone too. Hopefully you can see the difference there. You have your 4 and 7 pin. You have your 4x4 badge. And you guys can see they give you the Ram spelled out here versus just the animal Ram there. They both are going to have the backup camera and the LED strip down below. Let's see if this is assisted. Assisted, and it's going to be assisted for the 2025. You can get 400 watts of power or 2,000 watts of power and bed lights. I was shocked that you could not get power in the bed of these Bighorns for 2024. Now you guys can see you can get bed lights. It's an option on both sides for 24 and 25. Your high mounts have incandescent bulbs on both sides. They still give you the shark fin out back. Let's talk about the gearing. If you're looking at the HEMI, right, this rear end is going to be a 321, which would come standard. You can get a 392 if you want max tow, and that's going to be an anti-spin. It would be an open diff otherwise. On this side of the house, this truck with the inline 6 Hurricane is going to have a 355 rear end. You can now get an off-road package for 2025, and you can now get a locker out back. In the past, you had to go to a Rebel to get a locker, so that's really nice that they upgraded that. For 2024 and 2025, you get that 3.6 liter Pentastar engine standard for Bighorn. For 2025, you now have the inline 6 Hurricane, which is a twin turboed engine, versus the naturally aspirated V8 known as the HEMI. Now, depending on who you are, most people are probably going to go out and get this last model year of the HEMI because, hey, it's tried and true. And it has port fuel injection too, by the way. However, this inline 6 is going to have direct injection, which I'm shocked that they did not do port and direct for this engine, because Ford does it, Toyota does it. But listen, 420 horsepower and 469 pound-feet of torque. Both trucks are going to benefit from the 8 HP 75 8-speed transmission. And I feel as though when you guys see the footage, you're going to be shocked by the fuel economy that I got. So 410 pound-feet of torque versus the 469, but 395 horsepower compared to the 420 as you just heard. I don't know. The eTorque system does give you supplemental power. It's basically like a mild hybrid system, and the stop-start works really good in this truck. But I feel as though the HEMI has gone so long without updates. That's why a lot of people are probably going to welcome this new engine, right? Now, with that being said, you do have the cylinder deactivation on this engine, which is known as MDS, which is multi-displacement system, and they both have the stop-start function. Let's go ahead and check out the interiors. Starting with the 2024, here are the controls, and here it is for the 2025. Power folding mirrors on both sides, and here is the design for the door compared to the 2024. So you can pretty much tell that they restyled everything. It looks a little bit more cleaner. I like the buttons better on the 2025. This just seems like it was just an afterthought personally. in comparison. But down below it's pretty much the same. Both trucks have manual seats up front, but with the option you can upgrade to this, which is basically a 10-way including the lumbar. The cloth seats look good on both sides. They've always done a pretty good job for the interiors in this segment. I think they still are probably number one, maybe number two compared to the competitors. Now, as far as this screen goes, you guys saw the 8.4 was an option on this truck. But for 2025, it comes standard, and that's including the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Heated seats and heated steering wheel is an option on both sides. You have the single climate control, and then here is your gear selector. So that's pretty much, it's slightly updated. It's just a different mechanism. Push button start, it's the same. Now let's check the gauge cluster. I want to see if there's anything different. I don't think there is, but let's just go check it out for the 2024. Nothing different. Pretty much the exact same design. Now when you start it up, the layout inside this screen here is different. So let's kind of go through that really quickly. So I'm on page 3 here for the fuel economy, right? They actually included this with the vehicle information now. So you pretty much have the exact same information here, like your tire pressure, coolant, trans, and oil temp, oil pressure, oil life, battery voltage, and then your gauge summary, engine hours, and then back to the front. With the new truck, some of your animations there, you guys will see here is the vehicle information. So the first page is going to be your fuel economy, and as I said, they put it under the vehicle information, and then you have your gauge summary, and then so on and so forth, as you guys just saw. And this is something new. Now, I didn't show it to you guys under the hood. You have a dipstick for that HEMI. This is now technically your dipstick. So now it's on the screen, so it shows you the oil level. So if you need to add oil, this is where you're gonna come to check that, right? Could be good, could be bad for some people. And I just think that that's about it. Like, there's nothing else really different on these trucks. Like, here is the center console. It pretty much slides, 400-watt plug. You have the 4 USBs. And the keys are the exact same. They haven't changed anything on the keys. They both have the tilt headrest, and for the bighorn you have the incandescent lights. Let's see if the 2024 has the home link system. The truck in the video did not have the garage door opener, so in order to get that, you have to get the Level B equipment group, which is $3,845. Here is the 2025. I like the new graphics here for the trimming. No power plugs, seat back pockets, and then 60/40 bench. Also, you have an armrest for the center, lighting up top. On the 2024, it's the exact same, 60/40 bench. You still have an armrest right here. Air vents, no power plugs, seat back pockets. Let's check out the payload starting with the 2025. Here are the gross axle ratings up front, 3,900 pounds. The rear is going to be 4,100 pounds, which is class leading, by the way. Gross fuel weight rating is going to be 7,100 pounds. You guys can see the wheel specs, 20/9 wide. 1,756 pounds of payload. By the way, does this trim piece look different? Let's check that while we're already here. Hopefully you guys can see. Yeah, let's just see if this is a little different. Oddly enough, it is different. And there's no kick plate like on the 2025. I missed that actually. I probably missed a few other things too, but nevertheless, the axle ratings are the same. The gross vehicle weight rating is the same. And the payload is lower for the 2024. Now that truck has 20-inch wheels, okay? And so even with the 20-inch wheels, that truck has more payload. And that's in part to probably the lighter engine, because they're using aluminum heads and block on this truck. You guys see the kick plate right there? So they don't have that for the 2024s. Isn't that interesting? I missed that, but I hope you guys liked the video. I think that either way you go, you can't go wrong. I personally would probably go with a 2024 because of the discounts. There's rebates, tons of rebates on these trucks. There's probably a few on the 2025s, but you're gonna get a better deal on a 2024 for sure. And hey, this is the last of the HEMI. So let me know what you guys' thoughts in the comment section. Be sure to subscribe to your channel, make sure the notifications are on. Check out Larry H. Miller's inventory. See you guys soon.